Today we're checking out these RedRock half-inch rear coil spring spacers for the 2003 to 2024 4Runners. If the back of the 4Runner is starting to sag a little bit, or you've added a front level and you want the rear to match, or you just want to touch more tire clearance without changing the ride quality at all, then these half-inch spacers are a solid option that are definitely worth checking out. The key features here are going to start with a simple rake control and extra room exactly where you need it in that wheel hub. A half-inch spacer is great for dialing out a slight squat or matching a small front lift so the truck sits level again. Because the spacer sits above the spring, you can keep the factory spring rate and shock travel, so ride and handling both stay like stock. It's also a smart way to clear a hair more sidewall without jumping to a taller spring. Most folks choose a half-inch spacer for everyday load support, a cleaner stance with roof racks and extra gear on board, or just to square up that look after a small front leveling kit. When it comes to the construction on this, you're getting precision machined billet aluminum spacers with a durable black finish. They're cut to nest to the rear spring's perch, sit flat, and resist corrosion so they don't creak or crush over time like cheap inserts. The profile matches the 4Runner spring seat, so everything centers properly and torques down solid. Now, as far as the pricing goes on this, it's coming in right around that $80 price range. For a direct fit pair that corrects your stance and adds a touch of clearance on the rear end, but also keeping that stock ride quality, this is a solid value when you compare it to swapping out springs or any other suspension adjustments. When it comes to the install on this one, it's gonna get rated a 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, and you can have this job done in 2 hours or less of your time. Now let's head on out to the shop, and we're gonna give you a detailed walkthrough of exactly how this install process goes.
For this install, you need a 17, 14, 12, and 8mm wrench, a pry bar, and not shown on screen is a pole jack or a floor jack. Today we're gonna be installing lift spacers on our 4Runner. Let's get into it. First, we're gonna take a pole jack and put it under the rear axle. If you don't have a pole jack, you can use a floor jack. Whatever kind of jack you have, you can put it under there. Like that, we just wanna give it a little bit of support. Then we're gonna get a 14mm wrench and a 12mm wrench. We're gonna undo this sway bar end link. After that, we're going to get an 8mm wrench and a 17mm wrench. We're going to loosen the top of the strut. Now that you have undone everything that you need to on this side, repeat the same process on the other side. Next, we're going to lower our jack. We're going to remove our jack, place that aside, pull down on our axle, take out our spring. Now that we have this spring removed, we're going to take our lift puck, want to place it up top. Then we're going to place our spring up top. Next, we're going to have a pry bar on hand, just in case we need it. I think we might. And lastly, you want to make sure your spring is lined up like that. Everything's good to go. Now we can put our jack underneath the axle and lift it up. Then we're going to put our bushings back on. that. Same thing with our tie rod. We can put our nut on both of them. For this one, we're going to tighten it down with a 17mm wrench. Then once you've tightened this down, repeat the same process on the other side. And lastly, we're going to tighten down our sway bar end link, so we're going to get a 12mm wrench. Then once you've tightened that down, repeat the same process on the other side for everything. Alrighty, that about wraps up this review and install of the RedRock 1/2-inch rear coil spring spacers for an 03 to 2024 4Runner. Thank you for watching, and remember, for everything 4Runner, keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.